people there wanted to talk about things that is really hard to believe, yet true. And there's a lot of things in this world that just kind of make you shake your head, make you wonder, could it be true? And there were some really interesting things. For example, did you know not many people survive a lightning strike? We could figure that out. But one of the things is the people that do survive a lightning strike, they have what they call Lichtenberg figures or Lichtenberg flowers or lightning flowers, they're called sometimes. They're kind of like tattoos. They occur on the surface of their skin, and it's a result of damage from high voltage. And there's no way that they know of to correct it. I have what's called a Lichtenberg wood burning set. I created with a couple of parts from a microwave oven, and it makes the same kind of interesting patterns on wood. If you should see someone with this kind of strange tattooing, figure they're one of the luckiest people in the world. They've survived a lightning strike. Would you believe it that these things that they call stem cells, they found out that the fetus's stem cells can repair their mother's heart problems. They came to this conclusion after examining records that half of the women who developed heart weaknesses during or just after pregnancy recovered spontaneously, all thanks to the cells from the fetus, the stem cells. I want to talk about a strange coincidence on an island. There's an island in the Philippines. There's an island within a lake on an island within a lake on an island. On one spot. Beautiful spot, but quite unique in the fact that nature seems to have duplicated itself all in one spot there. Oh, and many of you may have heard of different stories about Steve Jobs from Apple. When we were working on the first iPod, the engineers finished up and they presented this to Steve Jobs. Of course, he tinkered with the device. He weighed it in his hands, and he looked at the developing engineers and he told them, nope, not good enough. It's too big. Well, the engineers claimed that it's really impossible to make it any smaller. So Jobs sat there quiet, contemplating what they just told him. He stood up and he walked over to an aquarium in his office. He dropped the iPod into the aquarium tank. When the iPod touched the bottom, bubbles floated to the top. Notice, those are air bubbles. That means there's space in there. Make it smaller. And, of course, they did. You may have heard about Australia being a penal colony where they sent the very bad to be taken care of. And they found that Australia's first police force, well, they were formed of the best behaved convicts that they had on the island. Police department, based on convicts who were very well behaved, had a good record. I assume a lot of people have been to Disneyland and Disney World. Well, what you got to realize is that beneath this beautiful, wonderful Disneyland, Disney World, is a space made up of multiple tunnels. Now, they wanted the characters to be able to get where they needed to be around the park without having to go through other people's areas. So they built a tunnel system so that these characters could get back and forth to where they belonged in the park without having to pass through all of the people above ground and go through other people's areas. So there's quite an extensive tunnel system beneath Disneyland and Disney World. And DNA. You've all heard of DNA. Well, perhaps you can answer a little question. Answer a question. What particular plant or animal do you think that humans share 50% of their DNA with? Could be monkeys, lions, apes, tigers, crocodiles. What do we share 50% of our DNA with? Are you ready for this? Bananas. Bananas share just over 44% of their DNA with humans, and humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas. So, bananas. Okay, everybody, that's it for the Hard to Believe for today. I might come back with a little more of this later. Thanks very much for listening. Please like, subscribe, share. Feel free to leave a comment. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.